Hello and welcome to this week's Runescape news, including a community hit list and some necromancy overrides. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you haven't already and want to stay updated with all RuneScape news, be sure to subscribe. Let's get started. Today, the embargo on necromancy has been lifted, which means you'll be able to use bonus experience and other locked out buffs to train up your necromancy even faster than before. Now, I usually don't cover the upcoming Treasure Hunter roadmap. Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because Old School RuneScape did receive a roadmap and RuneScape 3 hasn't, and it's struggling. I'm laughing, but in all honesty, it's quite disappointing. They're releasing some more Conjure overrides and what seems to be necromancy cosmetic armor sets and weapons. All I'm wondering is, where is that fourth Conjure going to come in? Now, the reason I'm talking about this Treasure Hunter part isn't necessarily because of those necromancy outfits and Conjure overrides. No, it's because oddments are being changed yet again. The daily purchase limit for Treasure Hunter keys using oddments is going to be increased from 10 to 15 keys. However, at the same time, it seems that the amount of oddments you can gain, especially from those OP promos, is being nerfed into the ground. Base oddments awarded per key reduced per rarity. Converted oddments volumes are no longer affected by reward multiplier. So probably if you're getting like a 10 times something drop, you won't be able to get 10 times the amount of oddments. Effectively what this is a nerf to those OP events where you could buy your daily key limit using oddments and then, get 10 times reward and get your initial investment in oddments back. Basically meaning you get 10 free keys every single day and your oddment currency pouch is literally growing. It's not decreasing, it's growing. And this is something Jagex is stopping here so that buying keys is a more attractive option. In terms of patch notes, we have a lot of juicy stuff, part of the community hit list, so these are player suggested changes, at least most of them are. Herb and gem bags will now be able to store noted items. Nice. Very nice. It's finally viable to solo Zamorak. I'm not saying it wasn't possible before, but there's no real reason to do it because it was just more difficult than duos. Now the health of Runes and Zamorak's phase 7 have been halved in a solo, make it more accessible, which is nice. My honest reaction to this though is this should have been released in the literal first week of the boss release. This should not have taken this long. I literally mentioned this plenty of times. I saw plenty of players complain about this. Some people said do 1 rune instead of 2. Now the boss properly scales down to solo. If you complete a player-informed breeding log for a category of animal, you now get a passive tier 1 perk for the animal without the need of a farm totem. This is actually quite a good incentive to get people to complete breeding logs. That being said, you still need an animal in a pen to get the tier 2 version of the perk, if applicable. If you're doing player-informed farming requests, it should now be a lot smoother and easier to do these. All types of forest spirits should now correctly send their rewards to the bank or to your inventory if your bank is full. There's now a 15-second reminder before your incense sticks will run out. 3 bosses are now no longer immune to Death Touch darts, including Commanders Ulyan in hard mode, Araxor in duo mode, and Saru, aka the final boss of Elite Dungeon 1. That being said, just like any other phase boss, you'd need to use multiple darts to take him out. A lot of creatures have been graphically updated in game, including black unicorns, unicorn stallion familiar, foals, and different types of bears. By the way, these unicorns now attack with melee instead of magic to better fit their animations. You should now more easily be able to identify and access the magic store owner inside the Neil Mage Guild, as the wizards around him have been graphically updated. If you're using the Loot Custom button, this will now grab any noted or stackable items on the ground if you already have one of these items in your inventory. The Spring Cleaner is now able to high alch or disassemble Necronium salvage if you'd like to do so, which is a nice change. If you're fletching in the Ranger's workroom, there's now a left-click use option which checks what materials are in your inventory and based on that, guesses what you're making, whether that's ammo or stringing bows, etc. These are the little things that make the game feel so much smoother. There have also been a lot of patches or little graphical reworks related to the Canron rework, which I'm not going to cover in detail. And you're now able to find the Load Last preset option in banks in the Dominion Tower, Nates It's Not, Darkmire, Lunar Isles, and the Lumbridge Basement. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this week's news. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.